This small lecture consists of miscellaneous tips and tricks that will help you get your copywriting even closer to perfection. I'll start with what I found helps a lot in my campaigns: being specific. I'll prove this with a joke a friend of mine always says. Did you know that in 87% of cases, if you use a percentage in your arguments, people are most likely to believe you? This compared to me saying, in most cases, if you'll use a percentage in your arguments, people are most likely to believe you. What those specific numbers did is add credibility to my sentence. So it got upgraded from an opinion to a fact. Because the immediate brain response is, a percentage means research is being done. And research involves work, and work increases the perceived value of any product. For example, if I say I worked 200 hours to create this course instead of I worked a lot to create this course, it's a totally different story because a lot is vague and varies from person to person. But when I say 200 hours, then you might divide that by 8 and see that it's 25 days of 8 hours per day. And if you have a job, you know what that feels like, and you can resonate with the effort I put in. But being vague and saying a lot is meaningless. So in your copy, be specific. And this is not referring to using numbers alone. It involves everything from the stories you tell, the examples you give, and every word you write. Don't say, a businessman from the US did something. Say, Joe Maxwell, a passionate entrepreneur from Ontario, US, did this and that. Make it easy for people reading your copy to visualize your sales message. Moving on to another tip that many forget and self-sabotage their message is to make it easy. People don't like to be put to work. In fact, while taking a break when creating this course, I watched a few videos on YouTube about Jack Ma, the CEO of Alibaba, and its incredible success with the recent IPO. And he says in almost every one of them that he is not a technology guy. In fact, whenever they made a change to the website, he was the first and last to review it. Because if he couldn't understand the new feature, being a non-tech person, then probably 80% of the people using the website wouldn't as well. And what makes people afraid of technology is because quite often they require a manual to use it. And if you have the time or willingness to learn new things, especially when they wanted a problem solved in the first place, not one more item on the list of things they need to do. Also, if you have an e-commerce website, please go over the steps people need to take in order to make a purchase 1,000,000 times and see if you can make it simpler and easier. Because the more clicks people need to make to put money in your pocket, the less money you will have. And for my final tip, I want to point out a factor that is always overlooked. It's credibility. The main reason why people don't buy. So if you can, prove as often as possible your product's quality, benefits, and reliability. And to prove my argument, I'll give you a real-life example that is undeniable. I'm quite passionate about electronics, phones, notebooks, big monitors, SSD, hard disks, surround system, anything that requires connection to the grid. And whenever I see something I like and I want to buy, I go on YouTube and look for reviews. I spend way more time than I should watching reviews. At first, I thought I was the only one doing this, but no. Review videos have tens of thousands of views, if not hundreds of thousands. And we're talking about products that have a shelf life of just a few months or a few years. And all these views add up to millions of hours spent by consumers to make a decision because they want to convince themselves that what you advertise as a business is the real thing. So in your marketing efforts and when writing your sales message, focus on building credibility. I hope this quick tip mixture will shed light on why your latest visitors didn't purchase in greater numbers and make your next campaigns more successful.